You know what time it is. Welcome to Great Table Talk. Four childhood friends coming together to make a difference in our everyday community. Enjoy this week's episode. Hey. Welcome to Great Table Talk. This is your girl, Cash, and this is a special edition to Great Table Talk. This is our Mother's Day edition. So what better thing to do than have my girls, who I've birthed, to be on a podcast with me. Hey, girls, how y'all doing?
Hello.
Hey.
And I have my surrogate daughter. We're going to introduce her in a minute. So I want you all to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Paris. I'm the oldest.
Hi, I'm Paige. I'm the second oldest.
Hi, I'm Peyton. I'm the youngest.
How you doing? I'm Caitlin.
Caitlin is my surrogate daughter, so this is why she's here on this podcast, because she's been around for years. So I love her just like she's my own. Hey, girls, hey.
Hey, Mom, hey.
Hey, Peyton, how you doing? You seem a bit uncomfortable on camera. You're dancing all the time. You good?
I'm fine.
Okay, can you speak where the people can hear you?
I'm fine.
I bet you if
Oh,
she put on
God.
some YouTube, she would be into
Oh,
it.
that should be dancing and moonwalking went out. So this is what we're going to do on today's podcast. I've given the girls the free reign, and I hope I don't regret this.
And she can't hit you on camera.
And I can't hit them on camera, but the camera must go off. I gave them free reign to ask me any questions, mother-daughter questions. The purpose of this podcast is not only to inform, to be educational, and we want to just have a little fun. We're going to let you a little bit into our lives. So, who's going to start first?
I guess I would go because I like to spice things up, and I also be the icebreaker. So, Mom, how was your day today? Let me ease you into this.
I had a good day, daughter. How was your day?
Why are we being so formal right now?
No, way.
Awkward.
I was going to say it, but since they said it, got out the way.
Daughter, I know she's going to set me up.
How do you feel about mother-daughter relationships being seen as best friends instead of a mother-daughter?
That's actually a good question. Okay. I would like to answer this by first saying that as a parent, I'm not a huge fan of being your kid's friend. However, one of the things that I've learned the more that you all have gotten older is that it's okay to let go of the rings of trying to control what you all do, but allow you all to grow and be your own individual, which can become friendly.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because as a child, you always need that guidance. So that's my goal as being your mom, is to guide you and give you insight. So not so much best friends as in, we cursing, drinking together, partying in clubs or whatnot. I mean, that may happen, but the day you see me in a club with your pop locking and dropping,
It'd
I
be
think
like
it's time to-
Solomon and his father when he was in a jail cell. Talking about, I got my lawyer, what's the where's yours?
I would be so embarrassed. That is not, I don't know who that is. I don't know who
my
that
goodness.
is. I don't know who that is. But I kind of agree, because once you grow, up in age, I believe it turns into more of a friendship, because you feel more comfortable with your mom seeing all the parts of you. Y'all know what I'm talking about, kids. You know how you had your home persona, your school persona, your church persona, and everywhere else persona. You know what I'm talking about. But once you get older, I feel like you become more comfortable in letting your parents in, and especially your mother, into all of your life.
I would like to, capitalize on what she just said, basically. As you get older, it seems, I know personally for me, it's like you get a better understanding of where your parents are coming from and how they actually do look out for the best interest of you. And I like to personally think that my older sister and my mom are my best friends, because what I think a best friend is a person that pushes you to be better than what you are and is going to tell you the truth regardless. And I think that's what your mom does for you and your older sister does for you. So you can't get better relationships than that. You know what I mean?
Check you out. I'll pay you later. Do you have any questions, Pepe?
No.
You waiting?
On.
On? Did she say on?
Yeah, I don't know.
Main
She-
line, tell them what you want. Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. She was
I
adopted.
do not have any questions.
Wow. Caitlin,
What do you
have any
got?
questions?
You have any questions, Caitlin?
I mean, I feel like my question would be, how would you stop the relationship from getting too personal, as I'm more of your best friend than your mother? You know what I mean? Like, how do you keep your mother kind of in the mother role, but away from the best friend side? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if I understood the question to be correctly, I think in everything in life there's a balance. However, there may come a point in all of you all's life, the older you all get, moving your apartments, move on campus, excuse me for right now, move on campus, or moving your apartments and have your own life, you would want to say, okay, because I'm the mom, I like to pop up. But oftentimes it's not necessarily the best thing to do when you have kids that are of age to have their own stuff, their own space. So my suggestion is, when it becomes uncomfortable, you could just say, hey, mama, and then you set those boundaries and you lay out your boundaries.
By space, she means apps on your phone that tells you when your battery percentage is low. And she can also track how fast you're
Yes.
going on the highway and when you're using your phone to text.
Yes.
It's called Life 360 app. You should never get that for your kids.
Parents,
like that?
I am an advocate
Like that.
for Life 360
It's
app.
nothing but the devil.
It's a great app. If
sounds
you
horrible.
are paying your children's cell phone bill, you have the right to have this app on their phone.
Mama call.
I am an advocate for it. Get it, parents. I mean, you pay a little cost, but
No.
that's fine.
I ain't got no problem with it because I ain't got a phone right now. I'm Gucci gang.
No, she. I'm serious. I'm 21. Paris, where you at right now? I'm at the party. Why are you texting
Well,
me?
your
I
phone
know
says
how
otherwise.
fast they are driving.
She's not.
I know if
Paris,
the
your
battery
phone on
percentage is
10%.
low. Yeah,
Get a charger.
I know these things.
So my sister was on her college campus in her dorm, and my mom calls her and shoots her a text when she doesn't answer the phone, saying, "Hey, you might want to charge your phone because your phone's on 13%."
Facts.
And I'm like, my sister called me like, Paige. Guess what mom just did?
I
And
am
I'm
not
like,
ashamed. I am not ashamed.
That's messed up. I
What
remember
has
when
the
I
world come
was
to?
in 9th grade, all my text messages and phone calls went straight to her phone before it came to my phone.
Oh, well,
I don't
yeah,
know
you-
how she did it,
Absolutely.
but she did it.
I kind of stopped that because I just didn't want my phone going off all day. But there's a way to do that as well, parents.
That's kind of scary, don't you think?
No,
You
she
said-
had all our contacts. When I had your name saved as like crazy things like Snoop and
I was like,
Buddy.
who was a Snoop?
Yeah.
You still in my phone, a Snoop?
No,
Still in
yeah,
the phone
Allison's still in
with
your
a
phone,
dollar
too.
sign, Caitlin.
That's right. I didn't know what that meant. Like, where's Caitlin numbers in your phone? Oh,
Hey,
Snoop.
Paris, you remember those days when we used to say boys' numbers as girl
as
numbers
girl
on the
numbers.
phone? And my
Caitlin
mama
was
used
a-
to do
Caitlin
the
was
pop
y'all
up
ten
checks.
times.
I used to be air hustling when y'all used to.
And mama used to be the pop
I
up
was-
checks. So who is this?
Who is Caitlin?
Who is this
Yeah,
Caitlin?
I used to be
Caitlyn Jenner
7
used to
guys
go.
at one time. I used to be 7 guys at one time.
That's right. That's right.
Boy.
So, what's the next question? Who has the next question?
So I guess I'll go next. You know, I have mine typed up, being all professional.
College does that.
Shout out to Toastmasters.
All right.
My first question would be, what is one thing that you never understood about your mother?
You asking us this?
As
No,
as
not
being
you.
an adult or growing up?
I guess it would be both.
Yeah, give both.
Overall.
Let's do both. Do childhood first, then as an adult.
Because
I
we're
think
adults now.
one of the things growing up that I never understood about my mother and my father was this whole do what I say and not what I do type thing. I'm like, you can eat in your bed. Why can't I eat in my bed? You better do what I say and not as I still to this day, as a parent, I do not understand that. Well, there are ways that I can understand that because, no, I'll give you for instance, Mama, you going out to eat again? I have a job. Do you? That kind of thing. So I can understand in that aspect, but growing up, I didn't understand that. As an adult, I totally get my mom. You get me? I totally get it. So it's one of those things.
Would y'all like to answer the question too? It could be for y'all too.
Can you restate it again, please?
What is something that you never understood about your mother?
I'll go after you.
See, as a child, like I used to have a real bad attitude, It's better now. But
Oh, working progress.
I don't understand.
She
Even a
almost
little bit
choked me.
now, I kind of don't understand. Well, I'm going to take that back. As a child, I didn't understand how your parents could catch attitude, but the second you catch attitude, all hell breaks loose. Would you like to explain that?
What she said?
Did she say hell?
Hell breaks loose.
Oh, I'm telling you, bells be flying,
You just said it.
tears be rolling.
So can I say it if them two said it?
What is the question? Like, how can you as a child have an attitude, but yet
No.
What's the
What I
question?
said was, as a child, it wasn't a question, it was actually a statement. But as a child, I used to look at you guys, you'd be like, you can't catch attitude with me, that's disrespectful. But then y'all have y'all bad days, y'all off days, and have the attitudes. And you know, we used to call you Hurricane Isaac. Just so happened, 5 years later, Hurricane Isaac happened.
facts?
Spoke that into existence.
We're not
Look
going to
at
edit that.
Peyton, you can go.
Okay. What I never understood about my mother is how she keeps her refrigerator in her room and doesn't share anything that she has in there.
Then don't eat it. Don't eat the stuff in the fridge.
No, I'll ask for it. And if she say no, I probably might sneak some.
You know what? She is totally right, because they used to buy stuff all the time, and they're like, "Don't touch it. That thing will catch mold."
For real.
It'll be
And
frostbite.
they don't even eat it. Like,
Wait, okay, let me be clear about something so we can move on to the next question.
Hold up, I ain't get to go. And Caitlin
Oh,
neither.
Lord.
So
Oh,
then
Lord.
we gonna go. And then
Lord,
you go.
Lord, Lord.
I have a fridge in my room, and I will continue to have a fridge in my room as long as I have.
The popsicles got frostbite, yo.
Frost.
Me and Paige had 2 yesterday, and they had frostbite.
They're mine, though.
But that
they're
goes
mine.
back to the question that she asked, I work, do you?
Caitlin, whose
You
side
better,
are you
you
on?
better say
I'm
it,
just
daughter.
saying.
You better say it.
Your daughter about to get kicked out.
I brought you in the circle.
We
voted you off
What's one of
that.
the things that you never understood?
I never understood how you could sit up there and wear makeup. That was some
Sit up there.
sit up there,
Not down there. Up.
not down there,
Sit
up
there.
there, and wear makeup, and I could not. And you used to come to school to make sure I wiped it off,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
but you could wear it, but I couldn't. That's something that I didn't understand, like why I couldn't wear makeup.
Here's a funny thing, a funny story about Paris, really
she
quick.
did it with me?
Growing up,
Oh, yeah.
Paris used to be like in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th grade, the 7th, the 8th grade, you know. But in those grades, she used to steal my MAC or steal my other makeup and put on lipstick, eyeliner, and used to have it on like wrong. And I used to get a call from teachers, and I'm like, she has lipstick on. And I pull up, you know, sometimes, this is a word y'all use, pull up. I had to pull up to the school and confront the
Must
issue.
be the truth.
She must be the truth. I had to pull up and make sure that she got the makeup off. And the reason I'm glad that you understand it now, being an adult?
Of course.
now you have to
Okay.
fight her to put on makeup. I don't understand. It is backwards.
Oh, I have another thing. I'm sorry.
How you gonna skip? how
I'm
you gonna take
sorry.
Caitlin?
I'm sorry. Okay, so I don't understand how we used to get in trouble because we didn't have earrings in our ears.
Oh,
Because I used to pay so much. You all had sensitive ears.
Oh, I
So
can
much
agree.
so that when I purchased
I got it too.
earrings, they were like real gold, real silver, and you didn't last a day. So imagine having
y'all
3
didn't last
kids,
today. I was
3
pretty good.
kids, and you lose your earring,
was.
and nobody knew what an earring was.
Except Paige.
Until I got smart. I was a smart parent. I ended up getting them sticker earrings. So a pack of stickers from Claire's, just helping your parents out. And you can put it on their ear. It looks like diamonds. It looks like anything that they want. Smiley faces,
Some rhinestones.
you know, rhinestones, and stick it on their ear. So if they lose it, no sweat. That's what that was my, you know. You may see them right now with a sticker in their ear. Let them lose the earring.
This is not a
What'd you say,
sticker.
Caitlin?
One thing I never understood, I mean, I had the privilege of having more than one mother. So one thing I never understood is how y'all could be so strong when we are so down. When we run to y'all crying and, you know, complaining like, oh, I'm about to give up, and y'all could just look at us with smiles.
because
then
we
backhand you.
she was abused as a child. Girl, be quiet. It's smiles as in what? Smiles as in, see, here's the thing. Just like a captain of a ship. If you run, oh, the ship is sinking, and the captain be like, oh my God, we're all gonna die. You get what I'm saying? We can't do that. The captain of the ship have to say, calm down, everything's gonna be okay. Even though you may not have the answers. As a mom, I don't have all the answers. I'm learning this thing because there's really no book. You get what I'm saying? Because you're dealing with so many personalities. So if you're in a crisis, a crisis to you, that is, or if it's a legitimate crisis, we as parents want to say, as moms especially, like, want to comfort you, to let you know it's going to be okay. We don't have the answers, but we're like, it's going to be okay. I know the ship is kind of look like it's sinking right now. Everybody just calm down. Hey, let's try this. So this is why, because if we panic, y'all going to panic.
Yeah, we are
I
going
sure
down.
do. My ship sinks every week.
Yeah, there's always a crisis.
But
I don't panic. I'm chill Bill 24/7.
Until your ship
Let me
sinks.
tell you,
Chill,
but
Lies.
when you get
Chill,
older, you know, sometimes when you have your first heartbreak, or like, you know, when the teacher talks to you wrong, and you go to your parent all, you know, hyped up and in a fluster, and you want them to be hyped up in a fluster with you too, like, yeah, let's go. But now they're like, you know, calm down. I'm like,
Let's think about
That's
this.
not
like,
what I
no,
gotta
mom,
understand.
let's go down to Miss George's office and let's set us straight, you know?
Nope.
Well, no.
Let's egg somebody's house.
Right. I was not that parent.
I got a question.
What's your question?
This the parent that you were. Okay, but
Were, am, is,
Is.
but.
still now. This is what I don't understand. It's how I get into it with my teacher. I come home and I tell you, my mother, about it. And you don't get mad with me. You get mad at me for the situation that I was put in by my teacher. That's what I don't understand.
As a parent, I am one of those parents. You know me personally. I don't side with the children right away. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, so what did you do? Now I want you to get it. So what did you do?
Hey, y'all remember that time I tried the cinnamon challenge at my school?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that was so funny.
Yo, my
And mama made you write that report.
Yeah, she's like, how about this? They just gonna let me go scot-free, just made me, like, you know, the severity.
What happened? Okay, well, we got to explain it to those who don't know.
Explain it.
What happened was there was a time, I forget what grade you were in.
Like fourth, fifth.
That was a time that the cinnamon challenge was very popular.
That was the devil.
It was a silly challenge, and it was when they put cinnamon in a teaspoon and ate the cinnamon and was trying to swallow the cinnamon without water. Well, she come home and she tries this challenge, and who was
It wasn't
rooting
home.
her
I was on.
What were you?
Home. She was at
I
school.
took the cinnamon out of my grandma's cabinet.
And she was
went
at
to
school.
school.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nonetheless, when she did this, I did some research on it and the effects of this challenge. And Paige was responsible to writing a report and going before her class
My dairy class, yes.
and explaining the research of the report that she had and apologizing for her behavior.
I think I still have
You know,
that
I
letter.
would rather write, I will not eat
I would
cinnamon,
not eat cinnamon
1,000
anymore.
times.
I will not eat cinnamon anymore.
Well,
I
it
don't write
was
the
a-
Bible
It was a
scriptures.
humbling
I would
challenge.
rather not
I bet
do
you I never
either of
forgot
them.
it though.
That's
I
right.
bet you I never forgot
At the
it.
end of the day, you need to think about your decisions and how it can be effective.
I don't even eat cinnamon no more.
Lies.
She
right.
sure, as soon
Well,
as we see a cinnamon, I want that.
Right, yeah.
Her and Paige.
Oh, shout out to the Cinnabon. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Next question.
Have you made any big mistakes?
We don't have all day. This is
If
like a
any.
20-minute podcast. So, mistakes as in what?
As in, let me see. Since it's about mothers,
Yeah, I was about to say, let's
I
go
would guess I would
motherhood.
tailor it more towards your motherhood.
Like any
and
regrets,
things like that.
like-
I
Any
can answer that
mistakes.
for all the whoopings that she done gave me. Was
That's
her
not
biggest
one of my
mistake.
mistakes.
That is not a mistake.
The Board of Education.
I mean, being a
so
parent.
she call it.
That's right, to the seat of learning. I could say this. One of my biggest mistakes as a parent has been earlier on raising you all as if you all were the same person.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest mistake I made as a parent because you all have your own individual personalities, your own likes and dislikes. you all take correction differently. So if I was to have a mistake, I would say raising you all as a unit rather than individuals. Parenting you all as a unit instead of individuals.
Yeah.
And even in present day, I always get, well, you didn't tell her that. Well, you didn't tell her that. When the reality of it is that I parent each of you according to who you are individually, not as a unit.
I know me and Paris been working for a summer camp for about a couple of years now, maybe 4 or more. And we each are leaders of our own classes. I have 6-year-olds, and Paris have, 9-year-olds?
8 or 9.
And let me tell you, going into being 15, I didn't necessarily understand, like, why is this kid over here rocking in the corner? Why is this kid won't shut up? But as you notice, every kid has a different story. Every kid has a different personality. And every kid you can't treat the same. You can't talk to the same. And so I know that as a mother, it's probably even more of a delicate situation because that's your own seed. That's something that you want to see grow and you don't want to see tear down. But you also want to give that that supportive criticism, which I think is very
Absolutely.
important.
I agree.
Absolutely.
What traits do you feel like you inherited from your mother?
What I have inherited from my mom is her charisma, her drive, her laid back, have fun attitude, not to take herself too serious.
I would just like to give a shout out to my grandma Rose because, like, she's one of my favorite childhood memories. You know what I mean?
For
like,
real?
my mom would say no, she would say yes. I remember when my grandma was like, "Why don't y'all ever put gum behind your headboard?" Because we used to do it. I said, "Grandma, what's she talking about?"
No, she told y'all a story about when she was a child and
No,
she put
and
gum
she-
behind her headboard.
And she put gum on our bunk bed as well. But
So let me turn the question on you. What do you think you picked up, inherited from your mom? Your birth mom, not me, of course.
I think I picked up her calmness, her humbleness, should I say. I'm very humble, and my mom, she's awesome. But I think if I could pick one thing, it would be the humbleness of her, just period.
So Paris,
Yes, ma'am.
what is one thing that you inherited from your mom?
First off, I just want you to see this. Everybody gets me and her confused very often. The one thing that I do believe I inherited from you is your personality and your charisma.
Facts.
I get that all the time. They say you sound like your mom when you're talking. I have a lot of passion behind
they
what I
say
say.
that about me too.
So my charisma is one of those things.
Good. All right, Paige. What is the one thing?
Well, you know what? Paris is just crazy too because people tell her about me too. So,
I know, especially when we be together.
You know, they just call me the dark skinned version of her. So.
Damn it, Paige!
Paige, why do you keep saying stupid stuff? Look how I structure my answer.
But hers was wordy.
Structure it to
Very
you.
boring. Mine is wordy and like, I wonder what else you gonna say.
There comes a time in life that you think, I don't want to do this anymore. This podcast was insightful, it's painful at the same time.
It's going to be some funny bloopers.
Oh,
So-
Lord.
No,
Yes, it
I
is.
have-
Okay.
What is one of the happiest moments as being a mom?
My
that you have
happiest
had
moment.
so far? Yeah.
Oh, man. There's so many. I don't think that'd even be fair because we don't have all day.
I was just about to say she would have to give 3, right?
No.
Well, no, because even besides giving birth to each and every one of them, I have so many happy moments.
Of course you do with me.
Pick one, Mom.
Oh,
one.
this is tough. I can't pick one.
Oh, you Paige and Peyton, Mama. That's
I
what
know.
you
I
are.
just can't pick one. I could tell you.
Well, how
can I
about
tell
that
you
time
per
you gave
child?
birth to me? Let's start
Oh,
there.
no. Can I tell you per child what's been my happiest
Okay,
moment
yeah,
to date?
That'll work.
Okay, that'd be fair. Okay, my happiest moment to date has been with you, Peyton. The day that, and this is not to take away any other times, but
Too bad you took it away.
to see when I was teaching you something, whether, for instance, when we were in the gym one time and we were jumping rope, And she was so discouraged, like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. This is stupid. I just knew I'm never going to jump rope. And we kept working at it. And to see her determination and finally her to get jumping rope down, and just to see how proud she was that she was able to get it.
It took 3 hours.
It did not take 3 hours. I promise you, it was probably less than 30 minutes. But I say that to say that to see the light in her eyes when she gets something, as a parent, for her to date has been not only the fact of teaching her, but when she's like, I get it. Right. And that I don't know, that y'all not a parent, but as a parent, when you see your child, that light in their eyes when they got it, that's the most rewarding thing ever. So to date, I mean, I have plenty about, any one of my kids, but for Peyton, that would be the day I'm like, oh my gosh, she gets it. And she has that satisfaction of, I accomplished this thing that I didn't think I would do. Oh my gosh.
Well, she was 15, learning how to jump rope. I'm just saying.
Don't
do Peyton. You're not gonna do Peyton.
That's what we're not gonna do. Me.
To be honest.
So what about Paige?
For Paige, my most proudest moment to date would have to be the time I bailed you out of jail. No. No.
For talking too much.
We're talking about the first time, or the second time.
My most proudest moment to date with you, Paige, would be, oh God, this is one of those moments. It's so many, but the time you came home and you were so passionate about something, and the fact of your passion finally coming together for you. Like, you've been passionate about a lot, but this particular time, me as a parent, I'm saying, oh, she's going to be all right. When you came home and you were passionate about this particular issue, and you were so passionate that you had a plan outline of how you were going to accomplish the task at hand. So as a parent, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, she's going to be all right. So it was kind of different from Peyton, but at the same token, as a parent, you want to know that your kid gets it. So my proudest moment was that you were able to articulate what you wanted to do, that you didn't need no backing because this is going to be my plan. And you kind of looked at me like, oh, okay, you going to help me? Or if you're not, I'm good. You get what I'm saying? And that was a proud moment for me because I knew that you were going to be all right, and that was the ingredients that you need to succeed in life.
Are you going to cry?
I'm not. Darn.
Look how she did.
I'm not at
like
the
she
moment.
Not the dramatic one. Like she's not the drama queen.
In Paris, and again, man, it's just so many. My proudest moment for you would most certainly have to be, and I can't, the first thing that comes to mind is graduating, when you graduated high school. And it's not that I didn't know that you were going to graduate. I knew you were going to graduate, but I didn't know that it would affect me in the way that it did, because when I was 17, I had you on my hip as I graduated. And to see you walk across the stage, for me, as a mom of my firstborn, I was crying like a baby in those stands. A few people was looking at me like, what's going on? Is she good? But not only that, and I hate to give two to I have to mention the whole aspect.
Hey, I've been here longer.
Yeah,
so
she's
it's
the
only
oldest.
right.
And my second proudest moment is knowing that you have such a heart of love and a passion to do something that's bigger than yourself, for you to not be afraid to step out on faith. Mm-hmm. Just like when she came home in passion, and she came home, when I was teaching her, she had the aha moment of like, I can do this. That moment that you had in life when you came home from college, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get involved with this particular club, and you stuck to it.
Praise
and the
him.
fact that you stuck to it without having a cheerleader or band behind you, that was one of my most proudest moments. You get what I'm saying? I could go on and on about my proudest moments with my girls, but,
Right.
And Caitlin, I know I'm not, your biological mama. Something bit me on my finger. What is that?
How she gonna say this in the middle of the
Random.
in the middle of the proud
Something bit me,
moment?
yeah.
Something bit me in there. Like
my proudest moment for you to date has been the fact that you can overcome your obstacles. And that's general. Let me be very specific. The fact that you may have started off at place A, and that even though it may have taken you a little longer to get to B and C, that you still made up your mind to get to B and C no matter how long it was going to take you.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I'm proud of you. Regardless, don't look at everybody else's journey. Excuse me. Don't look at anybody else's journey, but definitely stay the course, irregardless of how difficult it may seem at times. So my proudest moment for you has been your acceptance. So I want to tell you again that I'm proud of that. That's and that's a good thing to be proud of.
Line up.
So I know your mom's proud, but I just want to tell you again, I'm proud of that.
Spellman hand.
By herself.
Excluded. Yeah, we need money for Spellman, but she's going.
So, our next question would be, what is one of the biggest mistakes that you have made as a mother?
Oh, that's a tough one. The biggest mistakes that I've made as a mom, there's so many. I mean, it all started off with trying to let you drive at the age of 3. One of the first thing that comes to mind is being a parent. I try to parent you all as one unit instead of individuals growing up.
Right.
So ever since you all was 3, 6, and 9, I was like parenting you as a unit. And that was the biggest mistake that I made, because I realized that not soon after that you all are individuals. And I had to parent you all individually because your personalities were different.
Right.
How you learned was different. How you understood your feelings, your emotions, everything was different. So that was early on, I think, my biggest mistake as being a parent is when you all became, growing up, that I parent you all as a unit instead of individuals.
Right. I think we all agree, because I was tired of getting whoopings for Paige.
I got a question. When did you realize that you had to start parenting different, being that each of them had different personalities?
That's a good question. I think one of the times, I think you were, oh my gosh, I think you had to be probably 12 or 13. And you said, I'm trying to get it confused.
It probably was her. Because I don't.
It probably,
Well,
yeah.
I could
I
tell
think it
you
was
where
Paige.
you probably started is when Paris started sneaking snacks in the room.
No, but I think it was Paige. I think it was Paige, because Paige, I remember you crying. I was getting on you about something. No, it was you, Paris. Don't stop comparing me with.
That was
stop
me.
comparing me with such and such.
Everybody else.
Everybody else.
And I hopped on the bandwagon. I remember that.
A couple,
Yeah,
a little while later.
that's
So
what
that is the unit. That's kind of, and that wasn't so much that. I mean, I was writing what I was telling you. However, what you were saying was, I heard something different. So as a mom, I'm like, this is something different. What does she mean? And I kind of had to think, like, okay, no, you're not going to make grades like she making. You probably, an aspect that I can't expect you to be who she is because you're not her.
Right.
And I can't expect her to be who you are because you're not her. That's why I make it very clear, even these days and time, to make sure that I parent you all different. And oftentimes when you do that, begin to parent these children as individuals, they often say, why are you telling me but didn't tell her? Well, because what I'm telling you is for you, and what's for her is for her. So parent them differently because they're not a unit. But when they throw up, well, why you didn't tell her? No, I'm telling it to you.
Okay, I do have a question. So, Mom, where do you think the fine line should be drawn between mothers and daughters becoming best friends and having that respect there?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you would ask me probably a few years back, I would have stood on the fact that no, parents and kids can never be friends.
I would never be in a club with you.
If you ever catch me pop locking and dropping in the club, it's gonna be
And that's crazy.
Just sit on
right.
the stool.
And I think I took that stance because my kids were much younger. I never thought that we can be friends. I think more importantly, a parent needs to be a guide, and it needs to be truly hands-on when you all are coming up. So no, when you're adolescents, no, we don't need to be friends. However, I think the older you all have gotten, I can make it more comfortable for you all to talk to me. We could be friendly.
Right.
But me being the mom would never be something that I would take for granted.
Right.
And break down myself to just being your friend.
I know that for me personally, I would say you and Paris are my best friends because I feel like a best friend is somebody that's going to give you that supportive criticism. Also, they're going to tell you the truth. And I know with my mom and my sister, they always tell me the truth and always steer me in the right direction, even though I may not see it for myself, but they always going to tell me the truth and always going to be there for me on my worst days. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what a best friend is for. And sometimes best friends can be within your household, within your family. You don't always have to go out there in your schools and your communities to find a friend, but you got it right there.
Yeah, no one knows you like family, especially if you're living with them every day. No one knows you like family.
Right. So
You got any
Telling
questions?
me.
the next question that we came up with is describing
gotta
your
speak in the
mother
mic.
in 3 words. Describe your mother in 3 words. So I guess you can go first with your mother.
Describe my mom in 3 words.
3.
3.
Just 3.
Tree. I would say bold, unafraid.
I'll give this to her.
And unapologetic.
This is my 3 words, not yours.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Charismatic. She's bold, and she's driven.
It's really your 3.
Describe your mom in 3 words, Caitlin.
3. Humble, a fighter, and a believer.
That's good.
What she believe in, Kay?
I
Me.
can.
The good
She
Lord.
is so simple. The upper room. Okay, go ahead.
Peyton, what about you?
My mother is funny,
Facts.
very funny. She's driven, like I said before.
What about you, Paris?
Well, my 3 would have to be very passionate. You're very passionate about many things. Like Peyton said, you are very kind. And like you said about your mother, you're very charismatic. So, yeah, that would have to be my 3.
Well, thank you. I'll pay y'all later. I'll pay you later. What's your next question?
I
So,
didn't say my 3.
well,
Oh, we
Peyton,
forgot.
you didn't
Sorry,
Let me
complete
just
that.
tell you something. When you have so many kids, it's kind of tough.
It's always the middle child that gets left
I
out.
know,
I'm just
neglect. We're
saying,
so
like,
sorry. We're so sorry.
my childhood, okay?
I'm sorry, Pookie.
But my 3 would have to be, my mom's very outgoing. She's also beautiful, which is like, you can't ignore that. And like my sister said, she's driven and charismatic. She won't take no for an answer when she believes in something. So
Oh. So our next question for you, Mom, is what is one piece of advice that you have either given or have been given by a mother figure?
The first thing that comes to mind is the best piece of advice that I have been given from a mother figure would have to be love yourself. Love God first, love yourself. Take time to love yourself. That was the best advice that I've been given.
I like that answer. So our next question is.
Wait, I gotta ask you this question.
Oh, that's who.
Yeah, I
Can
wanna-
I go first?
I want to ask, what's
You
the
wanna ask
advice?
us?
Yeah, I want to ask you the same question.
Lord. Dun, dun, dun.
What has been the best advice that, and I want you to think
She's
about this,
setting us
Peyton.
up for that cue.
Are you really listening to me?
Okay, thank you
Your
kindly.
next 2 weeks of freedom is jeopardized.
Abort.
No car keys.
What has been the best advice that you have received from your mom or from a mother figure? I'm going to go with Caitlin first.
You would go with me, and I got 2 mother figures. For you, Miss Cash, you have instilled a lot in me, but one thing I will always remember is to be a boss.
Facts.
Be a boss.
Be a boss.
Be a boss.
That's good. That's good.
What about your mom?
That's 21 years. going on. One thing, keep God first.
Good.
Keep
Very
God
good.
first.
That's good. Peyton Melanie.
I will go next, huh?
Yeah. Make sure you're talking to Mike, baby.
That's what she learned.
Why does she always taste herself
I
first?
know.
Oh, you
right?
want to come back? Because I got...
No, let her go.
one thing I would have to say is my mother told me to never give somebody my energy nor my power, because that can always bring you down, and you don't want to let people see you down, or else they're going to keep nagging at you. So you got to show them that you're unbothered and that
Nobody's worth
like-
your energy.
Yeah.
No one is worth your energy. So yeah, you're right. Don't give anybody your energy.
See, I was listening though.
You were. Check you out.
She tried. She
The
tried.
eye roll between the eye rolls and the neck rolls. You mean?
I know, right? I didn't think that
retained
she
something.
heard me, but she heard me.
So you want to go next?
Yeah, I
You
want to go
ahead.
next
Go
because
ahead.
I remember as a young child, not only my mom, but
Young.
How
my
old are
cousins as well that are like my aunties. They used to tell me, Paige, think before you speak, honey. Think before you
Oh,
speak.
yes.
And, you know, that's a practice
Thank
I
you.
still put in today. You know what I mean?
Do you practice it today?
One that I have to give to my mom alone. I remember she told me this in 5th grade, and it stuck with me. People that matter, and people who don't. Simple as that. That's my motto I live by today.
People who matter matters. People who don't matter shouldn't matter.
So I y'all looked at me like, Paris, it's your turn. Like, one thing that I have, so first off, I wanted to say I learned so many lessons from you. But one thing that I've really, like, especially right now, you've been pushing to me, is be authentically me.
Right.
And I know that really touched me because I always felt that I never could be me and still do the things that I wanted to do and accomplish, but in my own way. So I think that being authentically me had to be the piece of advice that I've taken from you.
Be authentically yourself.
Yeah.
You can't be what anybody else wants you to be. You need to be what you need to be for yourself.
There's only one original copy, one master copy.
Absolutely. Be authentically yourself.
So with that being said, we have came up with the next question. What is one thing that you have hoped that we have learned from you?
Oh gosh.
Just one. Don't go on your preaching.
I know. The devil thought he had me. Oh, but and I got away.
Are you sure?
You're fired. I would say, I'm so sorry. My ADD kicked in.
I know.
What?
What is one thing? Just one now. Thing that you have hoped that we have learned from all of your many preaching moments.
Many.
I would hope that you've learned to never give up. Never give up on a quest to be a better you. Never give up on God. You know what I'm saying? So that's the two things I want you to never give up on God and never give up on yourself.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Choir made her
Time
like
is here.
this.
The time
And-
is now.
and
You can't see me. The
I
time
blame
is
Mel
now.
Webb Sr.
Come
My
on
next
now.
question is, who is your favorite?
As
It's
in what?
me. No, as in who's your favorite?
It's
Oh,
me.
out of my kids.
It's me.
Out of my
It's
kids.
me. Yes,
It's me. It's me. It's me.
It's me.
Well, I definitely can say this. I do have favorite.
I know it
Trying
was
to
always
figure-
Peyton.
It was the first off Peyton. We
It was
say it's
always
Peyton
me.
back in the day.
It's still
It was
me.
no, it's not.
Did you see her screensaver?
I don't care.
All right, then.
I don't care.
Peyton hacked
It's
my mama.
me, you guys.
Peyton,
It's me.
when I say Peyton's driven, she's driven to hack my mom's phone,
Yep.
my mom's iPad, my mom's
Yep.
car.
First of all, I don't know how to do that.
Hold on. 989. Peyton pops locks.
I certainly have a favorite.
Who is it? Me.
No, it ain't Pepper.
I have a favorite characteristic out of each and every one of you.
See, I knew
Oh,
she
yeah, I
was
knew
gonna do
she was
that.
going to say that.
Paige, it's your beauty.
Peyton, again, I love the fact that you are a well-rounded, all-around, awesome kid.
You are.
Despite, the
Your
rolling of the
attitude.
eyes from times and your attitude, I love the fact that you are driven. I love the fact that you are naturally smart. You are naturally athletic. You are naturally, intelligent. That's my favorite thing
Don't let it fall, don't let it
about
fall.
you. Paris, my favorite thing about you is certainly your heart. your love for others.
That's my best friend.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend. I love your heart. I love your compassion for others. I love the fact that you care for others first more than you care for yourself. Now I want you to change that in some aspects.
I'm working on it.
And my favorite thing for you, Paige, is definitely. Oh Lord, Jesus.
Oh Lord.
My favorite thing about you most certainly has to be your voice. You have a voice to be heard. A voice that you have a way about you of reckoning that when you walk in a room, everyone notices. So your voice.
You notice me, son?
Nobody noticed you like that.
Not at all.
My favorite thing most certainly has to be your presence and your drive and your tenaciousness and your passion. You get what I'm saying? That's my favorite thing. So everyone I have favorite things in each and every one of you. So I don't have a favorite kid. You get what I'm saying? Because if any one of us are not here, if any one of you all are not here or are missing, there's a part that's gone. So I don't have a favorite child.
I'm glad that you say that. Now, every time I go by my father, I'm going to bring this up.
I am your favorite in this area.
Right.
You miss me.
Mom, before you whip me, remember what?
I am your favorite.
Luke, I am your father. Go ahead. What's your question?
So our next question, and this was personally for me. I know many people may not know our story, and if you don't, there was a point where me and my mom really weren't talking to each other. We didn't have any communication at all, and it was hard on the both of us. You know, I moved and everything. Mm-hmm. So during that time, it was like a hard struggle for us. So do you have any advice for any mothers and daughters that may be going through that same struggle that we went through?
It kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier. As a parent, you have to purpose not to give up on your kids. Mm-hmm. Adolescence is a very, very trying time for any parent. And it may come a time that your child may rebel or they may frankly not even want to be, they don't want to be reached. But as parents, we have to pray. We have to cover them. We can't get caught up in our feelings or our emotions that we forget to be a parent. So I would suggest to any parent that may be struggling to reach their children to never give up. Mm-hmm. Never give up. You don't have to speak negative. You don't have to complain and whine. Just pray and become a parent. Show up. And I think one of the things that I did with you is I showed up.
All the time.
Regardless if you wanted to be bothered with me or not, I showed up.
Pull up on the
But
kid.
when you do show up,
hold on,
She still had that 360 app.
But being that you said that about the mother, what advice do you have for the daughter?
But you have to say the advice for a daughter because, I spoke from a parent standpoint.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what turned around for you?
I would have to say during that break, I know that you may not want to hear from your mom or deal with your mom because I know during my time I did not want to hear from her. I didn't want to see her, and she kept popping up everywhere. And
Never give up.
Who gave her my number?
I was at school.
Pull up on the
At
kid.
school, Paris, why you late?
Pull up
I'm
on
like,
the
I don't
kid.
even live with you. Like, how you know I'm late? Who called you?
I was always
At
present.
church. Hey, Paris. Hello, lady that gave me birth.
Yeah, right.
And I know they used to bother you the most. Especially during the Mother's Day, when Mother's Day used to roll around. I know that that took a toll on you. But I would say that, be open-minded. Try to communicate as much as possible.
But how did you come back around?
I personally believe that, coming from the child standpoint, that you should be open to the communication. Because just like my mom did, she's going to be in my face and she kept calling, be at school, why you late? I don't even live with her. I'm trying to figure out how she know I'm late for school.
Right.
You know, or she, you know, we'll be in church. She'll come speak to me during the greeting time, and I'll be like, hey, lady that gave me birth. Even though I know it was hard for her, and like she said about my heart, I knew it was hard for her, but I wanted her to hurt because I was hurting.
Right.
And, you know, I would say the reconciliation part for me came from, you know, I had a mother figure during that time in church, and she came to me, and she barely knew what was going on, but she came to me and she was like, I see it in you. You need to go get that right. And my mom, at the time, she was, you know, going to God for me, even though I'm not talking to going to God for me, praying for our relationship, you know, crying out. And this particular time, I saw my mom crying out for the relationship. And at the same time, I wanted the same thing. And so the lady came and she spoke that to me, and she said, you go up there and you go get it. And that would have to be, you know, God's intervening person to say, go get it right. And so after that, you know, it was just accountability for the both of us. You know, for calling each other, you know, stopping by, coming to different events. And I guess, you know, that's how we build our relationship back.
And I don't think that would have happened if I was in my feelings.
Yeah.
Or if you would have stayed in your feelings. You get what I'm saying? But as parents, we have to lead by example. So irregardless of why she felt that way, because she has a right to feel the way that she feels, as a parent, we have to stand by and put our feelings to the side for the overall betterment of our family.
But that
I have
also,
a question.
Go ahead.
Did y'all feel that break made y'all closer, or did you feel like it was a waste of time to be mad?
I feel like it was a little bit of both, because there is so many things that I miss, you know, being around y'all when y'all were here, and, you know, missed in my own personal life that I would already knew, or I would have been in a better position if I was here or being with my mom. So I definitely agree with both of those.
I concur. I mean, there was a lot of times I wanted to know what boy she liked, who liked her, give her advice.
Should I call her every 5 minutes? Hey, Ma. She was like, how you calling me? I'm working.
Parents, can we go back to speaking just for a day?
Right.
Can we just go back to not speaking, please?
So that was a great question,
But
Peyton.
I also would like to add on the daughter portion, because I know a lot of times as kids we deal with our own demons, and sometimes we don't understand. We get into that headspace where we feel like our parents will never understand, or they never try to understand. So I think the biggest enemy would be yourself. You have to get out your own headspace. You know, step out of yourself. Be aware of, you know, others' perceptions. Yes, perceptions. I believe there's nothing like a mother's love, because as a child, I know there was multiple days where I would feel like my mom would never understand where I'm coming from, or she'd never try to understand. But I promise you, once you step out of that box, and once you step out of that insecurity, there's nothing like being open, having an open relationship with your parents, with your mom, being able to confide in them. Because I'm telling you, once you keep that one secret, those secrets are going to start adding up. And that's where the boundaries start building up, and that's when the walls start building up.
Yeah. Because they understand more than you think, and it's just beneficial to your life.
One thing I can say is,
that's good.
don't ever expect them to understand if you're not talking to them.
Because
I know for me and my mother, it's hard for me to express myself, especially to my mom, who thinks of me so highly, and, you know, she wants the best for me. And, you know, when you slip off that pedestal, man, it's hard to go back and be like, say, Ma, I slipped up.
And, you know, the thing about it is, the fact is, we as your mom will always reverence you. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can do to cause us to stop loving you. You get what I'm saying? Now, you could disappoint us.
I was just about to say, but you know, that we know you won't ever stop loving us.
But disappointment is temporary.
Anger.
But disappointment is temporary, and anger is certainly temporary. You get what I'm saying?
Don't
confuse being disappointed for anger. Because it's not the same thing. Anger is an emotion, and disappointment is a response to something that may have been done at the moment. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
I totally agree.
So just because I may be disappointed at the choice you may have made or this decision you may have made right then and there does not mean that I'm going to stop loving you, supporting you, and praying for you.
Right.
As a mom, I would certainly don't mind showing you my scars. So you wouldn't have to make the same decisions that I've made. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That a lot of times I think even with my parents and my my grandparents and my great-grandparents, that at some point we were afraid to show our scars. It was more like that whole thing, do as I say and not as I do.
Right.
When they didn't explain, so y'all want to know, y'all at the generation like, why? Why?
Especially Paige.
Why?
Why I can't?
You get what I'm
Why I don't
saying?
understand.
When the reality of it is, okay, well, if you do this, this is what it can lead to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what my greatest thing as a parent to do is show a scar. It will bring me, it humanize me.
That's all we have for you today. But we all have written something
Oh, Lord.
to say to you. Mom, I want to start off by saying I love you, and I appreciate everything that you do for me and my sisters. Even though it's something that we don't say often, we really do appreciate it. You are really my best friend. I never in a million years would have thought that it would come out my mouth, especially 2 years ago. You couldn't tell me 2 years ago that she would be my best
I
friend.
thought it was 3.
No, I'm saying, no, oh yeah,
Okay.
for them 2 years, for the 2 year break, let me
Yeah.
be specific. You keep me strong in the times of weakness, no matter what you're going through. You make sure I'm always taken care of with the impossible things and the possible things. I often tell a joke about me going to the store and making a list and me never knowing what to put on the list until I call you. And it's crazy because I live away from home. And I always say that I can never function without you. But it's really the truth. I remember back when you got diagnosed with your illness and you were basically prepping us for the worst. And it really hurted me because I never thought that I would be able to live without you, do anything without you. But you always made sure that we were equipped with the things that we needed to do. I remember back in class when they asked us to write a paper about our motivation. I wrote about you and made a PowerPoint.
Oh.
I knew she was going
And
to
I
do it.
That's
cried.
your baby.
I'm
knew
the
she was
sensitive
gonna
one,
do
y'all.
it.
Yeah.
I made a
Sneak a
PowerPoint
snack.
and I got up there and embarrassed myself in front of everybody because I was crying because I talked about how strong you were
Oh.
and how you pushed me to do great things and you expected the best from me and made sure that all those things happened. And in closing,
That's my baby. That's my baby.
and in closing, I just want to let you know that everything that you have said and taught me has not fallen on deaf ears. And I'm very sure that all of us are listening to you. You pushed us in every way that you possibly can, and I'm grateful that you're equipping us to be here when you aren't. And
Yeah.
I know that's your main goal, so
Yeah.
thank you. Love you.
Okay, my turn.
You had to turn your back on me.
I
like
know.
I'm
that,
sorry,
you know
Kay.
what
I still love you though. So, Mom, I want to make you cry. So.
Oh, gosh.
It is my goal.
Okay. Well, I just want to tell you, like I tell you guys all the time, you and Paris all the time, you guys are truly my best friends because even on my worst days, you know, y'all always seem to put a smile on my face, and even being in your room, it's just, you know, just being around you. And I know you say we don't hug you and kiss you all the time, but it's just like, you know, the energy that we swap. And it's like, I know when I come to your room, everything's going to be okay. My worries are laid at bay. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate you through all, you know, my boy troubles that you've been there. That shoulder
Yeah,
to
like you
cry
had so
on.
many.
I'm sorry, the boy trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you always there with the shoulder to cry on. You never judge me. And, you know, you was always there to pick me up, even through my worst attitudes. Me talking back, the eye rolls, the neck rolls. I don't know how you do it, but, you know, you still were there to mentor me and guide me. I'm glad that you never gave up on me because I'm still growing as a young woman, and you're still pushing me to be the better me that I can be, you know. I just want to say thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for listening to me, even though she says I'm too wordy.
She is very wordy.
But I love you with all my heart, Mom. You're my rock.
Oh Lord.
I know she had to be lame.
Oh,
She
wah,
had to be
wah,
lame.
wah. Girl, I love you.
You're
baby.
my rock. Jump out the So, Peyton,
Oh.
you can go. Miss Mixtape dropping.
September 12th.
Look at
Mom, I just want to say that I dearly appreciate you and everything that you've done for us, and soonly we'll be doing but I just want you to know that I do love you. Even though this Mother's Day I don't have no money nor no job, just know that the love is still there, and love is deeper than
Materialistic thing.
materialistic things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ma, I just do really love you and dearly appreciate you.
I'll thank you.
Add on,
I
Mom,
love you too, baby.
you know, you the one beneath our wings. You know, if you were to like,
Is she quoting a
You're
song?
the
I know, I'm just saying, like, Mom, like, you just don't understand, like, you are a huge part in our life. You like our number one supporter. You know what I'm saying? Every volleyball game. Every volleyball
See,
game.
Karen started it.
Even though we missed our passes, you know what I mean? We missed our spikes. You know, you was still there. Your butt numb and everything.
Yeah,
I
my
don't
butt
know-
was
I
numb
don't
in
know
those
how you do
stands.
it.
My butt was
I
so
don't
numb
know
in
how
those
you do
stands.
it.
Yelling
I'm
at the
telling you, you know.
coaches.
she was up there though, you know what I'm saying? Every choir rehearsal, every performance we have, you know, Mom's always there. She always makes a way when it's hard, you know, when finances are tight, she always makes a way. That no is never Mom's answer. I promise you. Mom,
Not when it's for something constructive.
yeah.
like when I tell you that, Mom, I need $15. My gas tank is on E. She like done. Next day, done.
Can't relate. I ain't got my car yet.
Don't have a cell phone. Don't have a call.
But I'm
Coming
telling you,
soon,
Mom,
da,
I'm
da, da.
telling you, if it wasn't for you, man, I'm telling you, we wouldn't be the young women, the young ladies that we are today without you. You know what I'm
Thank
saying? Even for Kate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how many lives you changed. Like,
Thank you.
it's amazing.
Thank
For
you.
my mom, I just want to let you know that I really love you. And there was actually a point where I thought I was gonna lose you, and I guess that scared me. It really made me think about how I treat you and the things I do to show you that I really appreciate you. And I love you. I ain't gonna cry.
She
knows
started tearing
she's
up.
not trying to
I thought
be
you
a
slowed
favorite
down.
You thought you was gonna catch me
And-
slipping,
and-
girl.
And to Miss Michelle, I just want to let you know, like me and Caitlin were talking the other day about how it takes a village.
Yes.
And I'm just so glad,
Yes.
you know, to you and Ashley's mom and Dominique's mom that we had a village
Miss
Yeah.
Cash.
raising us,
Yep.
you know, because it's really important. I'm thankful for all the times that, you know, you let me come over there and eat your food, come over there and cry, vent to you. You know, you getting on me like I'm Caitlin.
Right. Because y'all did it. Wait.
Thelma and Louise is what they call us.
Mhm.
But I appreciate everything that, you know, you personally done for me. All the prayers, all the, you know, all the pushing and praying that you did, you know, personally just for me, you know.
Right.
I just thank you for that.
I tell you, as a mom, one of the greatest gifts in the world is to know that your kids are all right. You get what I'm saying? I as a mom, I never had to answer for everything, but I was always seeking the answer. And even though I didn't get it right all of the time, I'm glad that you all hung around, you know, just enough so I can get it right.
Right.
So my greatest gift to you all is to leave a legacy of loving God first, taking the time to be self-aware, making sure that you love yourself, that you pay attention to yourself, that you love those around you. That is my thing that I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave a legacy of strong, educated, God-fearing leaders. So even though y'all put me to the test, y'all held me to task.
Trials and tribulations.
Amen and amen.
Mom, it's your birthday.
Girl, stop.
You
Watching
know,
Phineas and
she
Ferb.
ain't wrapped too tight. We're gonna wrap this podcast up. This has been a special edition of Great Table Talk, the Mother's Day edition.
Thank you for having us, Mom. I just wanted to put that out there. Nobody else was gonna say it, so I had to say it.
Like I said, big steak coming out.
I
September
can't
12th.
deal.
You feel me?
She's
But,
not even a rapper or
it
singer.
won't be long before you see this beautiful face again, okay?
Thank you so much, Caitlin, for coming in,
Oh, no problem.
joining
no problem.
us.
Yes.
Paris, Paige, Peyton.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
Mother's
birthday.
Day.
Oh gosh. They didn't. And we out.